privilege as a thief and a spy and an arms dealer when he was still alive and suing and stealing your pension. The parliamentary privilege allowed me to do so and every newspaper in the land to report it. If the police had been able to storm into my office, they would have discovered the source of the information on which I was acting. That source would have been crushed underfoot by Maxwell. Everyone would have been sued and put out of business. And the fraudster might still be here today stealing people's pensions. This is vital not for MPs, but for the public. The public have to know that they can give information to a parliamentarian who will make a judgment whether it has on the face of it any credibility, and if it does, project it into the public domain. If it turns out wrong, as it could have done with me and Maxwell, I'll be the one reputationally damaged. But if it turns out right, everyone's been done a public service.
And to tell you what's fascinating is it's difficult to imagine of situations where someone who is very much a proper socialist like yourself and Ed Vaizey, who's a proper conservative, should agree on something. That makes me think there is a problem.
Well, if we don't have a free parliament, we don't have anything at all. And you can't have a free parliament if members of parliament can expect the police crashing through their door, taking away their computer and their phones. That's
Are you
not
bothered
freedom.
by Michael Martin, Ruthie? Is that how would you like your boss to defend you if there'd been a problem, to go up and say it's all your fault?
I hate that whole thing of, dumping on...
Yeah.
I can't bear it. It's like when a celebrity, trashes another one in the papers. Just, don't. There's like a code that
Don't dump on your own doorstep.
Yeah, don't dump on your own doorstep. I can't bear it. But, I don't know, I really agree with what you've been saying about the fact.
Do you think you should go over it?
Yes, and it hurts me to say that because I've long defended him. But I think that if he didn't know what was going to happen, he's too weak to be the Speaker, and if he did know, then he's too stupid to be the Speaker, and so he has to go.
And you, Amanda?
I agree with George, actually. I mean, that's the first time I've seen that piece of footage, and I think it's awful that he should have just said, it's got nothing to do with me, it's all her fault. I mean, that's what he should have said, and then just sat down again. I think it's awful that he's not taken responsibility for it as the senior... As the senior member.
I can't bear it, I really...
Whether he should go on, I don't know, but, I think he should.
Let's find out if people at home agree with you. Should Michael Martin stand down? Let's hear what you have to say. Amy.
OK, we're going to start with Joe first on line 1.
Morning, Joe.
Good morning, Mark.
Should he stand down?
No, I don't think so. Not on this occasion. As far as I'm concerned, I think if anybody is culpable, the onus should have been on the senior police officers who entered the House of Commons, and they should have made the Sergeant-at-Arms aware that she did not have to give them access, and they could then go away and apply for a warrant to come back.
That is true. That is true.
So the police are culpable as well. I partly agree with Gorgeous Judge, but to say that Mike Martin should go, I think it's intolerable, and I don't think he dumped on his Sergeant-at-Arms at all. They should have done better. I'll accept that.
Well, he didn't hold his hand up at all, Joe. I mean, he didn't hold his hand up to anything.
Well,
and he did do a lot of pointing, didn't he?
Well, he read out a truthful statement, in my opinion, to the House of Commons. Everybody's had their tuppence worth. Michael Martin, to give him credit, he did not say a word to anybody until the House reconvened, which was the proper thing to do. I still think the police should have explained their role and their rights.
He did have a meeting with Jackie Smith, though, didn't he, beforehand?
Well, I don't know. I mean, who knows? We'll wait and see what Jackie Smith says today.
I reckon I can tell you what Jackie Smith will say today. Who? What? Where? Why? Not me, Gov.
I think that's a bit disingenuous, Matthew.
Well, we'll see, won't we, Joe? Thank you for the call. Let's have another.
OK, next caller is Lester on line 2.
Lester, good morning. Morning, Lester. I think they've been got at.
OK, we've now got Marina then on line 4.
Marina, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Hello. So, what do you think?
I think you're getting hold of the wrong end of the stick. I do think that your first caller said, actually, what I would like to say, that it is the top policeman that is at fault here. A lot further down the line, we're trying to blame yet again, as we had in Copper, wasn't me, Gov, Blair. Nothing to do with them, and they try to blame all their minions, in actual fact. I think, if anything, Jackie Smith ought to be gone. She ought to have been long gone a while back. And now, if you watched Jeremy Paxman last night interviewing Harriet Harman, she didn't answer any one of his questions. They were all in it together. They all knew what was going on, and I don't think that Martin should go, but I think he will be forced to resign so that it takes all the pressure and the blame off the rest of the bunch.
Okay, I mean, you can say that. We have to say, of course, that everybody else, I mean, certainly Jackie Smith has said she knew nothing about it.
Well, I don't believe that for a second. Every time I look at her, I see liar emblazoned across her.
Okay, as I said, you may want to say that, but I have to say, in order to save my skin, that...
I suspect Marina plays in the blue team, not just because of the way she said, go on. It should be go on.
Now, that's a very classist thing to say, George.
No, I'm quite classist. Matthew, the idea that a policeman is higher up than the Speaker of the House of Commons is ridiculous. The Speaker of the House of Commons is one of the most senior positions in the entire country. I mean, it's higher than a cabinet minister. And so you have to take a measure of the responsibility, along with the Speaker's House, the big salary, and the mandatory peerage.
Surely the police would have just been acting on orders from...
I think the police are culpable too, and heads must roll there. But if you've got three people culpable, the police, the Sergeant-at-Arms and the Speaker, the most powerful of the three is the Speaker.
Yeah, I think you made that point abundantly clear. Thank you, George. Should we take one more? Yeah, we'll take one more.
We've got Lester back. He's on
brilliant. Lester.
Hi.
Good to have you back with us. Free to speak. What do you think?
Well, basically, all I was going to say was, as the previous caller said, and for the first time I found myself agreeing with George Galloway, is that everyone from the top down seems to be culpable. And also, it was interesting that the raid was made when Parliament was closed. I don't know if that point was actually made before.
Yeah.
But the raid was actually made when Parliament was closed. I find it difficult to believe the previous incumbent of the Sergeant-at-Arms role would have actually allowed the police in without actually asking for a warrant. But I do find it rather difficult to accept that MPs' private files have now passed the police. And confidentiality there has been compromised.
Okay, Lester, I'm going to cut in there if I may. I just want last one. We've got to make it very quick. The Sergeant-at-Arms, Jill Lay. I mean, people say, "Oh, she's only started the job in January." Yeah, but we're now in December. So it's
not up to the job. That position has to be filled with someone who knows the Constitution, knows the law, knows the history, and has some political nous. And she was found wanting on all four.
Okay. Let's go to the break, after which we'll ask, should you keep your sprog sex, your unborn sprog sex, a surprise? For millions of years, of course, that's how it was, a surprise. Modern medicine has changed everything, but is it a